Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be looking at the 56 Chevy. I've got a lot of stuff done to this thing, and I kind of wanted just to catch you up on everything that I've been doing. I haven't necessarily broken it down every single step and showed instructional videos on how to do all this. So I just kind of wanted to do one big lump video of just kind of how all this stuff is installed. We're not going to get crazy in depth on all this stuff. I'm just going to kind of show you everything that I've done to the car. And then in a future video, which will also be this week, we're gonna get the car started for the first time. All right, just to catch you guys up real quick, this is Galaxy Blue, and we've got all the new trim and everything put on here. Everything's going together pretty good. We are using some factory trim. We're just having it straightened out and polished if we can. We really don't have an answer on that as of right now. But we do have wheel and tire picked out. It's a torque thrust. They're, I think, 17-inch wheels. So I feel like as far as the tire goes, I mean, that's about as much tire as you're gonna get on the back of that thing. So I'm just gonna jump straight into it with the engine first. So this is your typical 5.3 LS from Summit Racing. I ordered the long block, and then we had to get the intake and the fuel injection system. So we ended up going with Aces for this one. They send you the intake, and of course the intake has all the provisions where you can put your fuel injectors in there. They send you the fuel rails, and everything just goes in there really clean. We got all the wiring for the EFI system is all run underneath the intake here. And then we also have the steam port system for the LS that will eventually circle back into the cooling system. That's all tucked away underneath there as well. One thing that I want to throw in here real quick is that probably should have gotten the taller setup. There'd be a lot more room. We just thought that we would maybe have an issue with height of the engine, but we have tons and tons of room. So honestly, looking back at it now, I wish I would have gotten a tall intake for this. It's basically plug and play. I mean, essentially everything is. Especially we got an LS swap kit for the 56 Chevy. So that came with the engine mounts and then some, other things like downpipes with a O2 sensor bung already welded in there, so it just made it so effortless. So all this stuff is very, very close for a first startup, and that's what's going to be in the next video. So stay tuned later on this week. You guys are going to see this thing start up for the first time. I'm also going to include some of the setup on the initial tuning and stuff like that, and then we'll go ahead and get a first start, and then probably do the rest of the build, and then do the break-in afterwards. So it's just basically going to be a very short thing, making sure everything is good before we get too far along and have to redo way too much work just in case we miss something. We did use a painless wiring harness for this thing. Super easy, probably one of the easiest systems that I've used. They send you a lot of the grommets that they had from the factory, same style. The wiring was honestly very painless. Next, we have the brake system. This is a Right Stuff Detailing. It's a full kit. So, and I'll try to put as many of the parts as I had down in the description below. That way, if you guys want to check out the same parts for yourself, you can. But this is brake booster, brake master cylinder, front and rear brakes, the proportioning valve, everything was all in the same kit. We did order a separate offset bracket. That's just basically to get this whole assembly over about an inch. So that gave us just a little bit more room between the top of the valve cover here and the booster. So there's just tons and tons of room now. We don't have to worry about having to do crazy stuff just to, check the valves and all that stuff. As far as the gauges go, redid the factory gauges, just put a new glass in there, cleaned up what I had left from the factory, put a new trim pieces around it. We did have to actually replace all these gauges. So the gasoline temperature and then the speedometer, every single one of those had to get replaced. Got the CPP steering column, got vintage air system. These are the controls right here. It's mostly in, everything is working. I just don't have any of the stuff like the actual air compressor. For the radio, we went with retro sound in the style of the Wonder Bar setup. So that looks pretty good, very clean install. And then we continue all the way down to this side where the clock is. And then obviously had to get another clock, but it's in the same style as the factory one. So everything just looks super clean across here. Just wanted to touch on a couple more things. On the back, we've got two 6x9 speakers, and then we're gonna put a couple speakers down the kick panels. We wanna get as much sound as we can without going crazy and having just something obnoxious mounted inside the car. So the whole point of this is just to kind of like increase performance where we can without getting away from like the true, just like kind of classy look of this. I mean, we even kept the same battery location here. So it's still very true to a 56 Chevy, obviously minus the LS swap. So the last little piece that we've got is the air conditioning compressor right here. It's a vintage air setup right there. And then when you come back to underneath the dash, the whole evaporator system and everything, as you can see it just barely peeking out, is a massive system that crams up underneath the dash. But I can promise you that that is going to be the most amount of air conditioning that you could ever get inside this car. And more than likely, you'll probably even have to turn it down because it's so cold. For the most part, I think they use the same system under every single car. So this same kit is being mounted up underneath your dash. You're just getting different pieces that help you mount it up in there. As far as the difficulty goes, I mean, the whole system is pretty simple to set up. I think the most difficult part is just figuring out how to package it underneath the dash. It's just, yeah, it's pretty straightforward, but you just got to get it at the right angle or it's not going to go up in there. So, and then the rest of the system is up here in front of the radiator. When you run a LS swap, the core support has to be one that comes forward with the radiator. And that way, this can just go right in front of it, and you don't have to worry about going into the engine bay because obviously there's going to be very, very limited space. So just kind of getting all this mocked up for right now, and then I will take that all out. This actually hasn't even been painted yet, so it's just going to get painted black again. But anyways, and as far as the engine side of thing goes, they give you a little block off plate here, so you have nothing sticking out into the engine bay except for some wiring and then the plumbing. That's it. So it's very easy to kind of tuck all this stuff away, make it real clean. And so we'll get all that figured out whenever the panels start going on the car, because right now for the first startup, we're not going to have a belt on this for right now. So we'll just basically run this as is, just make sure it starts. We'll start putting the panels on there and get everything else sorted out afterwards. Moving on to my Ford truck, the 1967 F100. There's a ton of stuff over here that is all in, that's going on that truck. So we're just trying to make some space. We will get that thing in here and we're gonna do all kinds of stuff to it, including a turbo. So I know I mentioned at one point I was gonna put a supercharger on it. I have the supercharger, but I changed my mind. So we're doing a turbo. I've got some cooling upgrades, some stuff for the drivetrain. We're gonna beef everything up pretty good, put a turbo on it, and just have a ton of fun. So that's gonna be tons and tons of videos there with just the Ford truck. So I also started moving stuff in here in the paint booth to get it all set up on the 1970 C20. We're gonna go ahead and start spraying some paint on this. We've got it all in here, stuff's getting cleaned up, and we're gonna be ready to spray. Probably just do one big video on that, but the cab is right here. Everything's finally fixed on that. And we're gonna be able to take everything in there kind of one by one, get it all prepped up, and I will probably set a tripod up for that. We've also got the 79 Camaro. We haven't even posted a video on this. I promise I'm gonna post videos on this one. It is also getting LS swapped with the same engine setup that you just seen on the 56. And then obviously we still have the Mustang. So the goal is to kind of get a couple projects out of here, open up some room, because right now, I mean, we can't even get anything else in the shop. So, but we're trying to have a couple done by the end of the month. What that means for you guys, obviously, is just a ton of videos on the way. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing and following along. If you haven't already, make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on all these projects and just kind of follow along the whole process. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you when we get this 56 Chevy going.